Brad Giffen and Steve Harris from Iron Maiden.
How you doing, mate?
Welcome to Toronto Rocks. I understand they delivered you to the wrong building, which I think is something that's going to be happening more often than not, I think, as we make this transition between the two buildings.
Well, yeah.
Good afternoon so far, though?
Yeah, good.
Aside from trying to dodge traffic to get here in time.
Yeah, made it all right now, yeah.
Well, look, how was the show last night?
Actually, it was good, but Saturday was better. Saturday was a brilliant audience, and Sunday the audience was like, I don't know, a bit lame, I thought, anyway.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
What were they lacking on Sunday?
Well, the people at the sides were sort of sitting down a lot of the time, and Bruce was screaming at them to get up, and they were still looked like they were nailed to their seats. So, in fact, it had quite a good effect because we got so mad, got so much adrenaline going that, I think we sort of, played harder or something,
That's got to have a big effect on you guys on stage. I mean, with an interactive audience, it must help so much more.
Oh, yes. I mean, it's all about, them sort of reacting really good, and then, sort of like a circle, really. They react more and we get into it more and so on,
Where was Toronto in relation to the rest of the tour?
Well, say Saturday night was brilliant, so it was like as good, if not better, than, most places.
Mm-hmm. And tour itinerary-wise?
Sunday night was like,
Tour itinerary-wise, where are you?
Well, we're getting towards the end of the tour now. We started in September in Eastern Europe, did all the rest of Europe up till Christmas, and the States started in January, and we finished May the 2nd at Irvine Meadows, LA, and then it's Japan after that. So
you still have a ways to go.
Yeah.
A few miles to go on the tires there.
Yeah, a few weeks, yeah.
Describe the show. I know you had a little bit of a chance taking with Somewhere in Time, the album itself. How did the show change from the last time round?
Well, we based it around a sort of a futuristic type thing. Eddie's like a Blade Runner type Terminator sort of figure, and
complete with laser battle.
Yeah, that's right. And we had like all these inflatables, sort of spaceships and stuff, and spacemen hanging out there. And someone said it looked a bit like Pink Floyd type of thing, which I'll take that as a compliment, actually.
Yeah.
And all the rest of the show, like we had like these things where at the end where me and Bruce stand and the hands come up, and Eddie's underneath Nico's drum kit. It goes right up in the air, and it's like the hands come up, and me and Bruce are standing in the hands, and so it's quite a show.
Was the audience really into that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they must have been amazed by that.
But
you've got some phenomenal technology in the show that's on the world tour right now. How much equipment do you have?
Oh, I don't know exactly how many tons of it there is or whatever, but it's about 8 trucks worth, I think.
8 trucks you haul around with it?
Yeah.
Wow. 8 trucks to haul these kind of tunes right here. This is Iron Maiden and Wasted Years on Toronto Rocks. Somewhere in Time, the name of the album. That's Iron Maiden and Wasted Years, and Steve Harris with us here. Well, the album as a whole, I think more than one person has probably mentioned this to you, but it's much more melodic than probably past Iron Maiden albums have been.
Possibly, yeah.
You as a writer.
I've always felt that the other stuff is pretty melodic as well, but I don't know, yeah, some people have said that, and I don't know, maybe it's because we had like 6 months off after the last tour. The last tour was like a year long, and we were all knackered at the end of it, so we had 6 months off to recuperate, recharge the batteries, and I think maybe it just made it a bit fresher and maybe, maybe more melodic. Do
you think it's a musical direction that you might pursue consciously for the next album?
I don't know. The one conscious thing we will pursue a bit more is that we used guitar synths and that on this album. Maybe that added it to, as far as like the melodic thing or whatever. We're definitely going to use them again because we really like the sound, made the sound a bit more richer or whatever, and just I like the way it sort of coloured the material, I wish we sort of used them on earlier albums now, So who knows, That's a good thing about it, really. I think that's exciting thing is you never really know what the next one's going to be like. Each album's been a bit different, and I think the next one will probably, hopefully, be different again. One or 2 albums that sounded the same sort of thing.
How flexible do you think the fans are as far as following the trends of Iron Maiden as it evolves?
Well, we've always been a bit stubborn, really. We always sort of write for ourselves, We just sort of think, well, if they don't like it, well, that's too bad. We've always had that attitude that we write the songs as we feel, and, as long as we're happy with them, then, if we're happy with them, hopefully the fans will be as well, I think you've got to write that way, really, because otherwise if you start worrying about too much what everyone else likes, then I think you could probably get in a bit of a rut, really, And we've tried all different sorts of stuff, the last album we had like a 13-minute song, and all sort of weird and wonderful bits and pieces in that, and everyone seemed to like it, but if they didn't, as long as we're happy with it, that's the main thing, really.
Being an artist, it almost demands that you do that. please yourself first.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
How do you picture your fan? Do you, a fan, I'm talking in the singular because I would imagine you almost have to picture them singularly to know how you're relating to them eventually. Do you have a mental picture of who you're singing to? How would you describe an Iron Maiden fan?
I wouldn't really say there's an actual archetypal Iron Maiden fan. Maybe in England you could sort of say that a bit more because they tend to come to the shows with a denim and Maiden on their backs and stuff. Whereas, you know, in Canada and America and that, they're not so much like that, you know. I mean, some of them are, but, you know, there seem to be all sorts of people really, you know, that come to the gigs over here. So, in England, yeah, you could say, well, maybe a bit typecast, the fans, but I don't think they are over here particularly.
Well, wherever the Iron Maiden Show Somewhere in Time tour goes, I'm sure they're going to love this. And I'm sure the folks on Sunday night had a great time, too. They were probably just amazed and in awe of the show itself, which got raving reviews throughout Toronto here, especially from the newspapers. Specifically, the Toronto Sun wrote all weekend long about loving the shows. And certainly everybody that was there will be back when you guys come back into town, and we thank you very, very
Thanks
much. On behalf of all the fans in here in Toronto who saw the Iron Maiden shows, I'm sure they'd join you. Thank you very much for you guys coming by.
Cheers.
And the best way that we can think of to keep those memories alive and keep them somewhere in time is to give you one of 10 albums that we have on the Toronto Rocks prize line right now at 872-7770. 872-7770.